The font is too small. I can't see anything. I can't make out what's written.
Okay, I'll increase it. Hi, Yamish. Can you please turn
I
camera?
Yeah, I just wanted to check in on the meeting if it's going well.
Oh, okay. Uh, so
I
will
am from management.
so you won't be participating in the debate?
I think I can. There's no problem. I will just turn on my camera. Wait. What like how is the for and against side divided?
I'm randomly dividing that.
Okay.
So you will be participating in the debate, right?
Yes.
Is it okay if the uh, format is 2v1?
Yeah, I think we can do because in the meeting, I think one or two people must join.
Yes, I think it's fine. I ready to be single in this debate.
Okay, so it'll be 2v1 for now. If anybody else wants to join, then they'll go in the other team. So I'm going to add you, Yamish, as part of Namia's team in the against one. And give you all 10 minutes to prepare.
Should we start the research formally, or
Just prepare your things. You have time till I think 8:16 for that.
okay? Thank you.
Also, Yamish, I hope it's okay if the meeting is getting recorded.
Yeah, that's the main aim.
Also, I'm just adding on that your opening speeches should not be more than 90 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, guys, the time's up. I hope you are ready.
Yes.
In that case, let's begin with Arjun. Tell me when you're ready and I'll start the timer.
Second. One second. Okay. May I start?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning to one. Good evening to one and all present here. My name is Arjun Dwivedi, and I will be presenting for the topic that this house believes that developing countries should adopt economic development policies that heavily incentivize urbanization. Okay. Now, what does this topic mean? What does the term urbanization even mean? Let's begin with that. Urbanization is a form, is a industrial development, as we say. It's an industrial development of a community, and this community we call cities. So when we are developing a city, when we are developing areas like towns or villages to become into city, this is called urbanization. So why should these third world countries, yeah, developing countries, urbanize? Well, I can remember, I hope you and I recall that in our childhood, when we were about 8 or 9 years old, we would hear, oh my God, there's this new buzz going around on, say, flying cars, or there's this buzz going around, this a buzz going around, say, green energy. And we would be happy for the future. Urbanization is the future. The people like you and me want the future. It's something which people want. It's an active desire of ours. It improves on a lot of things. And one more point I would like to address right now is that urbanization doesn't have to be negative. It shouldn't destroy urbanization, shouldn't destroy forests, it shouldn't destroy communities. It should bind them. And that's what urbanization is all about. So I think that's what my main point is.
Okay, thank you, Arjun, for that very fine speech. Neeraj, can you please turn on your camera? We'll include you in the debate, even though the debate has already started. He left. Anyways, Namya and Yamesh, although you both are on one side, I suggest that you both give an opening speech so that I can give more personalized feedback. But for the questions part, you both can collaborate through chat or whatever medium you like. So, Yamesh, let's begin with you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
When the time limit ends, which is 90 seconds, I'll give you a message in chat on which it means that you have to stop. If you go
Okay.
above the time limit, I won't be, it'll be like I'm not listening to whatever you're saying. Okay.
Right. Noted.
Tell me whenever you're ready and I'll start the timer.
I'm ready. You can start.
Okay, cool.
Good evening, my worthy opponents. Urbanization. It helps pull people out of poverty and advances progress towards the Millennium Development Goals, also called MDGs in the language of World Bank. But if they are not managed well, can also lead to burgeoning growth of slums, pollution, and crime, is said by the Global Monitoring Report 2013, released by the World Bank and International Monetary Fund. Urbanization has the potential to usher in a new era of well-being, resource efficiency, and economic growth. Also, if managed well, urbanization can lead to sustainable growth by increasing productivity, allowing innovation and new ideas to emerge, said the World Bank Managing Director and Chief Operating Officer Sri Mulyani Indravati. Better cities can help reduce poverty, improve living conditions, and create the environment which is necessary for more and better paying jobs. Also, it has been noted that since 2000, the report found South Asia has made good strides in achieving greater prosperity with the increase in productivity linked with the growing number of people living in the regions, towns, and cities. Also, in urbanization and supporting urbanization, there are mainly two type two types of levels, which are also called institutional level and the policy level. At the institutional level, we guarantee the urbanization guarantees the region would benefit from the improvements in the ways in which towns and cities are governed and financed, because we all know that urbanization helps to create to bring more better employment opportunities, etc. Thank you.
Yamesh, I think you misunderstood, but you're against the topic. The messages you were, the information you were trying to convey was more for the topic.
Okay, I think I misunderstood that the agenda,
Uh, in
like,
that case, right now we'll have Namia's speech. You can use that 2 minutes to see if you can say anything again for the against part. Since this is not a competition, I'll not mark you negatively for that. I'll just give you another
right,
chance for the against for another speech. And
right.
that's okay with you. Namia, are you
Okay.
ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Tell me when to.
So shall I start?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Today I'll be speaking against the motion on whether countries and governments should adopt economic development policies that incentivize urbanization. Economic development. This term has been at the headlines of newspapers multiple times. But at what cost? Is it really the best for everyone? The governments of all the countries today are focusing on how to be at par with other countries, how to win this race of development. But it has come with its own consequences. Economic development has thrown the rural poor into the vicious cycle of poverty. It has cost them their jobs, their houses, and even their villages. Every few years, we hear cases of people being displaced from their hometowns just because the government wants to build a new dam, a road, or lay down railway lines. Take another example, the global pandemic COVID 19. Why do you think it happened? Was it because of China? My answer would be no. It was because of how ignorant we have gotten with the nature and treated our environment so poorly. It is high time that we stop this destruction in the name of economic development. Thank you.
Thank you for that very fine speech. Yamesh, are you ready or would you require another minute? Yamesh, uh, he is unresponsive. In that case, we'll just proceed on. Now you both can ask each other questions. We'll start with Arjun, if you have any.
I have few questions. You mentioned that the governments are displacing village people or people in towns for building infrastructure like dams, railways, etc. But aren't dams for the built for the benefit of the farm, the villagers who are in a majority, their occupation is farming. And the second point I would like to mention, isn't railway and dams an infrastructure which help the villagers the most, the rural folks the most? I mean, most people in rural areas have terrible road infrastructure. If we see in say India, and irrigation is a problem in many states in India. So I think this is a good point for rural. So and when you are urbanizing this place, such a method to improve the quality, how is that a bad point? I just don't understand.
Okay, so I said that people are being displaced. That means now they don't have their homes, they don't have any land to live on, and humans' basic instinct is survival. First, we will look for our survival, not for our development. When we are able to get proper food, when we have shelter, we have clothing, only then we will think of other things such as our rights, etc. So, when people are deprived of their basic needs in cases like these, in the name of development, it will hinder their growth automatically. So, that's my answer.
I still have my doubts on that, but could you provide me with a question?
Okay, sure. You said that urbanization is not about depleting the forest cover, but in today's world, we can see that for urbanization, governments are cutting down forests, and the forest cover has depleted over by a great percentage. So, how is urbanization not about destroying forests? Could you please elaborate that?
Yeah, so that's a wonderful question, Ramya. And I have prepared an answer for it. First, when we are talking about, first, let's look at the data, where the data is from. Urbanization the results in losing of forest cover. Now, this is number one, false in developing nations like India. If you were to see in NCERT textbooks, as of 2015, from 1950s to 2015, the forest cover has actually increased, not decreased. And India has urbanized a lot in those years. So, I mean, it's not, urbanization doesn't correlate to places, sorry, doesn't correlate to deforestation. And this deforestation only occurs when there is outdated infrastructure, like in, say, US, where the tram system, for example, became outdated. So it had to be removed. So when you, or say another system of transport or communication became outdated, say that the tar, like we say in Hindi, a telegram. When we send a telegram, there used to be lines and lines of just electrical wires going through forests, deserts in USA, but they had to be removed. Why? Because it became outdated. Developing nations have an advantage that when they're developing, they can get the best technologies fast. So that's my point.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody have any other questions? Ramya, do you have anything to ask?
Actually, I just have this one doubt because since Arjun mentioned the NCERT of 2015, so I think the updated data is that the forest cover has now reduced by 10% of what it was earlier in India. The updated statistics say that.
Are you from which version are you mentioning of the survey? May I ask that?
Actually, since you mentioned NCERT, I also remember studying this in my NCERT book only, and that too in 2022.
Hmm. Okay, so I have the rationalized textbook with me. I just came into 10th. So, and over there we have a pie graph in which we see that forest cover has grown by 0.2 or 3%, while urban land has grown by 1 or 2%. If you want, I'll share that page privately.
There's no need for that.
Hmm.
I'm just making sure if you're aware of what the latest data says.
Yes,
Okay,
it's
thank you for asking. Frank, are there any other questions on this topic?
I don't have any other questions.
no, sir.
Okay. Then let's prepare for the closing statements. Since the meeting will end in 8 minutes, I'll give you both 3 minutes to prepare.
Okay.
Guys, the time's up, and I would request you both to please keep your camera on. So let's begin with Arjun. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. This
Okay.
ha Okay. What's the time limit for the final statement, if I may ask?
Well, the meeting is about to end in 4 minutes because I do not have
Okay.
in Zoom. So let's keep it
Yes.
1 minute. That works.
Okay. ठीक है. This house understands the disadvantages and the advantages of urbanization given in this motion, and sees, due to the classification of urbanization, the increase in productivity caused by urbanization, better quality sanitation, education, innovation that comes with urbanization, and multiple other reasons which are also sourced from credible sources. I state that this motion must pass as it is the most logical option currently.
Okay. Thank you. Namya, let's begin with your speech quickly.
Yeah. Economic development and urbanization have cost us a lot already. It is because of this development that we are facing problems of global warming and depletion of the water table or the ozone layer. And but it does not mean that we cannot do anything about it, as it is our duty as respectable citizens of the country to be vigilant and be judicious in the use of all these resources. So, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Uh, After listening to both of you, I think Namya's argument was better. As for feedback, Arjun, I think you should include more points. For example, in the opening statement, you used all of your time explaining what urbanization is and that should be done. And even in your closing statement, you said according to multiple reasons from various sources. So, on those places, you should explain the reasons more rather than the topic.
Hmm.
I think that's one thing. And I think, yeah, overall, the reasons lagged. There weren't many reasons that you mentioned as part of your speech.
Hmm.
Otherwise, for both of you, it's best if you make your questions concise so that it's easy for everyone to understand. I hope you know what I mean.
Hmm.
And also, Arjun, upon that, for the argument that you both had for the data regarding deforestation and the
Hmm.
correlation it has with urbanization, I think it does have a correlation with urbanization because in urbanization, you do cut trees to gain more area and then build more infrastructure there.
Is this outside the debate or generally speaking? Like in the point? Yeah.
The debate has ended, so I'm just giving feedback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
And Namya, your argument was well structured, but I think you could have explained your reasons more. Even the simplest of things, it's best if you just add explanation on them. I hope you know what I mean.
What kind of reasons are you asking
Like,
me to explain about?
this is just in general, whatever reasons you're adding, just explain them properly. Like if you're giving a reason, then you say how it impacts and how it's correlated, all these things. Okay, now the meeting is going to end. Thank you both for coming. I hope you enjoyed.
okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.